Hey guys, was it Thursday, I guess? And it's still raining. It's not raining hard right now, but it just finished raining. You can see the water running across the driveway. It's non-stop, man. I don't know that I've ever seen so much rain. Oh look. Yeah. All right. So that's my area. That's where it's coming in, and it's just running down the walls and across. And I mean, it's so all this water here is coming up over the door, and you can see where it's kind of washed up here. Yeah, it's coming over this threshold, either that or it's coming underneath here, which I can probably put some caulking on both sides down here. But yeah, when it gets bad like this, and it's like, I mean, it comes down like crazy raining, it just comes right over the door, over the threshold, I mean. So yeah, that's my issue there. Hey, the sun came back out. I cut another path in front of the door to try to get me some relief there. I took the dirt the dirt and grass, and built that area up in front of the door, so hopefully as it runs through here, it'll just take the path of least resistance and run on out that way. Looks like it's doing pretty good. I said sun came out, so yeah, we're fixing to get real humid, I'm sure. It's already humid, but let's see what we got here. %, humidity, 71 outside, 85 degrees. Not bad on temp. It's actually been pretty decent in here. That little guy right there took forever. That's a lot of spot welds. And the bad thing is they weren't all pronounced spot welds, so they were kind of hard to find. And I didn't grind them off. I went ahead and used this, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. It's this complete opinion, but let me show you this. Hold on a second. All right, this right here is a Harbor Freight double-ended spot weld cutter. I don't know, $5 maybe. They're pretty reasonable. I don't know I can't remember how many of those little tips they come with, if it's just one or two. But look here, I've got this Blair's premium spot weld cutter that comes with all these badass little tips and all this stuff, you know. Even got the Blair double-ended one. I've got all kinds of these suckers. This Blair right here, as soon as I used it, maybe it's just bad luck, it just shattered. You can see that it just shattered it. These are badass, expensive, you know, or whatever. I probably got 20 spot welds out of that, and it's dull as hell. Yeah, I've got several different ones with the little push-in one. See if I can get this out of here with one hand. Yeah, some of them had that little drill bit right there that pops all the way through. Long story short, or maybe long story longer, this works, I think, just as well. For the price, I'm going to stock up on these, because I just went through all of those and with this one side, and that was quite a few of them down the sides and everything too. And man, it works just as well. Where are my other ones? I've got some other ones over here somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna say it works as well as the high dollar Blair ones. And those Blair ones are expensive. There's the Blair. And it's got that, you know, screw inch tip, made in USA, the whole freaking deal. Yeah, and that's the one that's got the little, comes with a couple little extra drill bit deals, and that's also collapsible. But so far, I'm going to tell you that those Harbor Freight ones work just as well so far. Maybe I got a bad batch, I don't know. I also use this stuff here, this rotor broach Blair sticker lubricant. I don't know what exactly it's made of. It's kind of a waxy type stuff. But my only issue with that is thinking, well, I dip this in there and then I run in all these spot welds, and then if, you know, I don't clean it, then I'm wondering if it's gonna give me a bunch of spatter and, you know, piss the weld off when I'm trying to put a plug weld back in there. But yeah, so far I haven't really had too much problems with it. But yeah, just opinion. Harbor Freight, there you go. I was never a big fan of Harbor Freight, but I see a lot of guys using their tools, and you know, for what this is and as expensive as these tips are, I don't remember exactly how much these tips are, but to order, it seems like they're like 30 bucks or something for 3 of them. It seems like they're 10 bucks a piece. Well, I mean, if you only get 10-15 spot welds out of each one, man, that's a lot. That's expensive. So anyway, just a thought. But yeah, I got that off. You can see there it's pretty rusty in there. I had somebody say, and this is pretty honest, these right here are galvanized. It's like, why didn't they make the whole damn thing out of galvanized steel? Or how come they didn't, you know, put that coating all in, you know what I mean? I'm sure it's a cost deal, but the car wouldn't have rusted, you know what I mean? Because this stuff is rust resistant or proof or whatever unless you get through that coating. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it all has to do with money. So yeah, I got that off finally. I got a dolly, camera dolly this back straight and kind of knock these little nipples off there. There's nipples here. You can see how it cut. I mean, they cut pretty nice. You know, each one of these just left a little, I call them titties, nipple, whatever you want to call them. But so yeah, let's work on this for a little bit and see how well it does, and see if I can get it loose. I'm gonna be getting closer. Like I said, it took what time is it? 2:20, and I've been out here for a while. So yeah, all right, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. It was the cheap spot weld cutters seem to work as good as the expensive spot weld cutters. So I think I'll be loading up on some Harbor Freight spot weld cutters. So all right, guys, see you. All right, guys, I'm trying really hard to get the camera to be able to see what I'm looking at there. There's a little tab up in there, and I'm not sure if you're able to see that. The light is actually shining on it. So what you have is you have 3 pieces of metal sandwiched in there, and this is the outside, and it goes. Now I broke these loose here, but it goes further up in there, and you can see here on the new panel, this is where I just broke those loose. Well, it's got this extra piece here, and it's welded up in there too. All right, and that's the reason last time what I did was I pulled this up and then just cut that piece of metal out of there and left that other tab welded up in there. Well, inside the car, you can see that I've got all those little spots marked. That would be where I would assume that tab runs up in there too. And you can see where I've cut the other holes already. So the problem for me, I'm looking at, you've got this panel here, and you got another panel here, which is all your inside structure. So I'm gonna have to break through 2 panels without running all the way through the roof of the car, and hope that, and this is just a guess what I'm guessing they do. They probably put all the quarter panels on, fit everything, and then I'm saying they put the roof on last. They just, because it's like a cap. So just imagine the roof's off the car. They probably use their spot weld machine, sandwich all these pieces of metal here together, and then, you know, light it up, just weld it up. Then they set the cap on top, which is the hood, or not the hood, but the roof, and then they go ahead and weld it there. So the best way to get to those would be to take your roof completely off. If you were wanting to get to those, like if you had to replace your roof, that'd be, you know, it'd be ultimate way to take your roof off, then you know, you get to them real easy. Well, I don't want to take the roof off. I'm not going to take the roof off. So I'm trying to figure out what's going to be easier for me, because this looks like a pain in the butt, and I'm not sure if I drill all the way through there if it's even going to let loose of that panel. So then I'm going to have to come back in here and weld those all back up and try to squeeze those back together after I separate them. So yeah, I don't know. So that's where I'm at with it. Trying to figure out what I want to do, because to me at this point I could just go ahead and crease that up like I did, cut that piece out and be done. I was trying to get away from creasing that up like that, which, like I said, makes it weaker, but this other route may end up being a bigger pain in the butt. So I don't know, I'll kick it around a little bit and we'll see what happens. So alright, see you guys. Alright, what I decided to do is go ahead and cut that completely out of there, and then that top piece here, it's like I said, it was freaking paper thin. You can see that. Man, it's just flimsy crap. So yeah, for me that was the best route, just to cut that loose. So I put the new panel in here, and then cut me a piece of metal, a good nice piece of metal to go over top of that, and then weld it down. You can see how there was multiple pieces here. There's one here, there's one in the middle here, you can see there, and then the actual top piece there, and then even inside here I think there's another piece here. So they just sandwiched a bunch of metal together, and like I said, the only way that you're really going to be able to do that right is to pull the whole roof off, and since I'm not going to replace the roof, that's not going to happen. So, but anyway, yeah, I think that'll work pretty good. Like I said, put that in there and fit it up, and just give me a piece of metal and seam weld that whole thing back together. This metal right here is nice and solid. You can see it doesn't flex. It's right as it curves over, and it's nice and thick. Plus it's got multiple pieces there, so that's going to be great to weld to. Yeah, like you can see there, that's multiple pieces of metal in there. So that shouldn't do a whole lot of warpage, and like I said, it's right on that rounded edge there. So as long as I tack it and cool it, we'll be good. So a little bit of rust in here, not too bad. I still got to take this channel out, so I'm going to have to cut these little welds out of here. But once I get that done, I can actually fit that other quarter panel up and kind of get an idea how it's going to fit. So I'll bring you guys back when I do that. Well, sitting on there. I still got to get the bottom's not in. Still got to get that bracket out of there, so it's holding it out there. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. I'm having the same issues I had before. This is hitting in here, so I'm going to have to trim that down, probably trim this down here to where it's quite a bit thinner, like I did this one over here. I trimmed that down quite a bit. I'll probably have to do the same for this because it's so fat, to get that back in to go in. And Matt, if you watch at all, I'm still Waiting on, I guess I could, but that's gonna be close enough that I can't get a weld in there. I still think I'm gonna end up having to cut this piece out to weld that in, but let me know what you think. Yeah, a little tweaking here and there, and I'll get her going. That's what we did up here. I still got a little bit of tweaking to do here to get it in good, but this fit pretty nice. Before I had to trim that down because it's too fat. Of course, once I get the door, that's out way far, so once I get that pushed back, that door gap will open up. So it's looking pretty good, you know, pretty happy with it. Like I said, till I get that inside track ground out, it's not going to bring that in. So, but man, we're making progress, so that's good. I'd be glad to get this back end done, get to move on to body work stuff. So, all right, well, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.